Aleeza Ben Shalom is an American Israeli matchmaker, relationship coach, podcaster, author, and reality television personality. Alicia has such a sparky, fun, engaging personality, and her expertise in matchmaking has brought her on a journey from Philadelphia to Israel and becoming the star of Netflix series Jewish Matchmaking. And in this show, it followed her journey helping Jewish singles in the United States and Israel, coaching them to find love, to date, and to hopefully get married and stay married. And what I loved about seeing the show and the contestants and doing a little bit of research is all of the kind things they had to say about you afterwards. Because you changed their approach to dating, you changed their approach to finding love. And I think that's very exciting. And today, we're talking about moving from matchmaking to finding clarity and discovering, is your person the one? Aleeza, welcome to the Coupley Relationship Advice Podcast.
Thank you, Tim, so much for having me. And I love that you said that they shifted, right? Like they had a moment where something happened different in their dating. Because it's not just about setting people up. It's like you said, getting real, getting married, and staying real, staying married, and having this perspective shift to make it happen, and having the clarity to know who is the one, this mysterious one.
And in the show, you talk a lot about hey, what I do isn't just setting you up, but it's also giving you a little bit of coaching along the dating journey as well. So using this experience in matchmaking, what are those things, those initial signs, initial feelings when they're meeting someone that starts giving you the clues? Okay, there might be some potential here. This person might be the one.
Okay, so I'm going to start with the opposite. I'm going to actually tell you what are not clues that this might be the one, right?
Yeah.
You know that feeling that everybody describes that, oh my gosh, it's amazing. What a connection. Wow. They come back 1 date, 2 dates, 3 dates. It's like fireworks. They're like, oh, I'm so excited. And I'm like, I'm not. It's going to end. This is not going to go well. Right? And I'm like, no. Like the worst thing that you could do is come back from a date over the moon. Like, Aleeza, I am convinced this is the one. And I'm going, okay. 10 days, 9, 8. How many are we going to get before this whole thing is just going to implode? Because it's not a real relationship. So if we are talking about a real relationship and how we know that this is the one, what are those signs? First of all, in general, it's going to be something different for everybody. But if I have to pick the generic categories, I would say things like, what do we value and how are our values aligned? Are they aligned? Yes, good sign. Personalities, are they aligned? Yes, good sign. Things that I fear, things that make me nervous, uncomfortable. If my parents got divorced, or if somebody was abusive, or if I don't know, I have anxiety about the process, and somebody triggers one of those fears. Ooh, how much do they trigger it? You know, if they're triggering it to a very high degree, probably it's not a relationship that can sustain a lifetime together. But if I have these fears and they're triggering it to a medium or a low degree, okay, then there could be some potential there. And then everybody has their own, I'll call it bothers, those things about you that just bother me. And I don't like. This is the package. Oh, good. Like I want, like when you go to a restaurant, you want to order and there's a menu, right? And it's like, but without the tomatoes. And could you please add, right? So this is not a menu. You just get a human, and they're going to come with all this stuff. There's the good and what I like to refer to as the other. It's not bad. It's just not what you prefer. Aha, okay. So it's not what you prefer, but it comes anyway, and you don't have a choice. You can take the whole package or you get none. And we have to balance out the qualities with the fears, with the things that bother you, and say, is this a human being that I desire to be with for a lifetime and that I can be with for a lifetime?
And so many of us want to take the elements that we don't like and then shift them, or think we can shift them. Think, I can change this person, or they're almost perfect, and then they think that one but, they're going to be able to change it. I think I saw research somewhere that said, by the time you're into your second date, you've already uncovered the thing that will be the thing that either keeps you together or the elements that will break you up.
It's true, and sometimes it happens in as little as 30 seconds. Sometimes you don't
Mm,
even get, I mean, you can get to the second date, but a lot of people are making snap judgments and very quick judgments. And for somebody who's in touch with their intuition, they're like, but I know. And for other
mm,
people who are like, well, I don't know, but I saw something and I don't know what that means. Then there's
yeah.
this exploratory process. But yeah, second date, so for some people it does take a little bit longer to do it, and for some people, again, they don't even get to that second date.
Why is the chemistry such a big warning sign for you? Why is that immediate chemistry so? What in your experience has been like, Tim? These are the things that I've seen with this chemistry cycle. Because I've had conversations recently that have been very, very similar, where they're like, "Oh, this is it. I've got it," and then it crumbles. But I'm thinking back, and there have been examples where people said, like, "I feel really great potential with this person. This is exciting," and now they're getting married. So,
Right.
is it always bad if they're really all in straight away, or how come this is a bit of a red flag for you?
It's not always bad, but it's a red flag because I don't know you and I'm
Mm,
all in, right? It's like doing absolutely no research. Um, I don't know, going to buy a car, and at first car you see, you're like, I'm all in, that's it. You didn't even do any research. Do you even know the brands? Do you even know the price tag? Do you like what you're all in for what? You're
mm,
basing it on chemistry, but not just it's just like a physical, it's a feeling. You're basing it on a feeling. And a feeling is very fickle. Today I feel happy, and tomorrow I feel sad, and the next day I feel depressed, and the next day I feel lonely, and the next day I feel joyful. Oh, great. So the day I feel happy, I'm basing it on that feeling. It's not based on fact. It's not based on information. Maybe it's based on a look or a glance or again, I'm in the presence of you, and all of a sudden I feel something, and I don't normally feel something. And I like what that feeling is. I like how you make me feel, but I don't know anything about you. I remember meeting somebody in college. I'll tell you a personal story because I'm
oh
sure you'll
yeah.
appreciate this. I remember meeting somebody in college and just looking and going, wow, wow. And I didn't really see him, talk to him much. And then one day, ended up in the same room having a conversation, and he opened his mouth and I was like, oh no, shh, don't talk. That was bad. Let me just look at you and let me just pretend like you are a perfect human being, because I am very enticed and very, like, this is exciting. But as soon as he
Yeah.
opened his mouth, I was like, oh, nowhere even close to my human. So when people get excited and they meet somebody, you went on one date. Okay, let me
Mm,
just say, you heard 2 or 3 hours worth of information. You're going to base a whole lifetime decision on that? You won't even give them 2 dates, 3 dates, 5 dates, 10 dates. You have 2 hours of information. It is not enough to make a long term decision. You are basing it on something that is not fact, that is internal, that's going on for you. And it's
mm.
not based on them, it's based on you.
Yeah.
So it's not based on who
Yeah.
they are, it's based on how you feel with them. But what do you know about them? That's my
Yeah.
problem with it.
And so many people, I think me included, will also just make a story in our heads. We already have this story written out. That person, that
I
person
had
is a
that
main
great
character.
story. This guy was great until he said something, and I was like, never talk again. You are perfect.
Yeah.
You just never talk again.
And I think all of us have had the people in their lives who are beautifully attractive people. You think,
Yes.
oh my goodness, that person is a 10. And then the more you get to know them, you're like, oh, like 9.5, and then 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. And then you're like, oh, but then you will see them meet someone else, and you'll
Right.
watch people just be entranced by them. We used to have a guy at my university that was so handsome, and I saw how it impacted girls around him.
Yeah.
And I've never seen so many girls talk to a guy about elves in my life, specifically like high elves and then Lord of the Rings elves, because that was his thing. He was super into it. And Turns out a lot of people have one day worth of elf talk in them before they get over
That's it.
it.
Right, right. And that's what he's really into, and that's what's important to him, and that's what he values. And she just wants to look at him for the rest of her life and
Mhm.
never have him talk about elves again.
Or just one amazing night, and then that's
But
it.
again, it's not. So that's my whole point. What is it? It's nothing. It's
Mhm.
literally nothing. You want a soulmate. You want clarity to know like this is your person. You're gonna base that on 2 hours and be like, I know for sure. Would you make a business deal based on 2 hours worth of information? I really, really hope not. Would you invest millions of dollars into the stock market based on 2 hours worth of information? I really, really hope not. I hope that you would do your due diligence and do your investigation and make sure that it's more than your eyes that like what's in
Mhm.
front of you, and it's more than that feeling that likes how you feel with that person, and that it's based on knowledge and information and facts and compatibility, because those are the things that join us together for a lifetime. The other things, it's nice. I can look at you, but if I don't like how you talk and I don't like the way you make me feel, we can get married, but we're
Mhm.
definitely getting divorced. So I need to know that there's more there.
Yeah, and I guess as you look at this stock, or you buy the stock, you're in a relationship. The dividends maybe aren't quite what you were hoping for. Do you see there being different phases as when you sort of get out? I think there's different phases. We have the honeymoon phase, right? We have
Mhm.
the are we going to get married phase, or are we going to get move in phase?
Right.
And I feel like at each of these phases, we have the are we going to be official phase, like from just going on some dates, feeling some things.
Right.
How do you call it for each phase? Because the stakes kind of get higher and higher as we go on this relationship elevator, as people call it.
So I have my own little timeline that I like, that I'm married to, so to speak, and it doesn't matter to me whether somebody is secular, more religious, or anywhere in between, or from any background. To be quite honest, I like that within 6 months that you've
Mm.
dated enough that you know if this is your person. And I believe majority of people, almost every couple, they have dated enough. Like you said, after 2 dates, you know almost what that issue is going to be ongoing. And within 6 months, you for sure know this is a human that I care for. This is a human that I connect to. And this is a human that I could make it work with. Why? Well, we've been dating for 6 months. So it has worked. It is working. It can work. And and within 6 months, you know, now you don't have to jump to engagement or marriage, but by knowing, you should have a more serious commitment. And for me, once you get to the 1 year anniversary, if it's your person, so put a ring on it. If it's not your
Hmm.
person, move on. Because after that point, it's, and even before that point, it's already as if you're married. You already do
Hmm.
everything together. Everybody knows you're together. They see you around. You're already coupled. And it makes it very difficult to separate after that. And I've seen couples that come to me. One of the longest ones, he was in a relationship for 9 years. And he said, but I love her. I said, great. That's really wonderful. Marry her. And he said, but I can't. I said, why? He said, well, I do love her. We have these core differences. It's really not going to work for me. I said, but for 9 years, it's working for you. As much as it's not going to work for you, it
Yeah.
is working for you. Don't you see that? He goes, no, but I'm not going to marry her. I said, then you need to say goodbye, because she needs to go find her husband. And she thought it was going to be you. And she waited 9 years. And this isn't just a breakup of a boyfriend and a girlfriend. This
No.
is a breakup of a marriage that never happened, that behaved like a marriage. And it is excruciatingly painful. Not only it's like a divorce, but it's like the marriage that I never had, but I almost always had. And
Hmm.
and to be honest, it ruins people's lives. So if you want to, people are like, but I don't want to get out. I don't know, but I don't want to stay in. I don't know. You have to stay in long enough to make a decision. And once you make the decision, you need to move ahead with that decision. I think within 6 months, you can pick your person. And I think within a year, you should put a ring on it. And I think within another 6 months and no longer than a year, you can move ahead to the next stage. That's a total of 2 years. And I don't even like 2 years. I like about a year and a half. Like, it's too long. We know. So you're young. Okay, good. So you're not yet financially stable. Great. So you get financially stable together. So like there's all these excuses of why people aren't going to move ahead. We can buy a car. We can buy a house. We can move to a new country. We can make all these big decisions in our lives. We can start a business and a company, and we can't commit to marriage. Really? Really? You can do this. You can have clarity. You can pick your person. Also, it just doesn't happen so often. I'm sorry to go on a rant. I get all excited
Love
about
it.
this. But people are like, how do you know this is the one? I said, it goes like this, basically. Most people you can't live with or tolerate for a lifetime. And then you meet somebody and you start dating them. And it just kind of works. And it just keeps on kind of working, and you got your stuff and you have your ups and downs, and it should not be a flat line. That's bad. And it shouldn't trend down, and it can't spike up and just stay at the top. It has to be like a little bit of an up and down, like an escalator, but it has to dip down a little bit. Like you got to have some falls, and then we pick ourselves back up. Yay, we learned something. Now we can keep moving and moving. And the relationship grows over the course of time. How many people in the world can you really do that with? Not so many. And you found one of them? Enough. That's it. End of story. Like, what, you're waiting for somebody better? Really? When have you seen somebody better? I asked one guy, I was like, how many people do you think there are for you in the world? And he's like, 100.
In the whole world.
Do you know I'm very good at keeping a straight face and very good at like validating people? And I had to work really hard to keep a straight face. And I was like, 100? That's interesting. How many of those 100 have you met? And he was in his 40s. You would expect, if you thought that there were 100 people out there for you, that maybe you've met at least 50 of them or so. He's like, 4, maybe. I was like, but do you think there's another 96 that could work? And he's like, what do you think? I was like, well, I think if you found 10 humans in the world that you really liked that you could marry, that would be a lot. If you found about 5, 6, something like that, yeah, I mean, maybe. And some people really only find 2, 3, maybe even 1, 2 that they really could tolerate for a lifetime. And he's like, did I like blow it? Did I miss her? And I was like, maybe. Maybe, but you could still find somebody. But how much longer do you want to wait to do that? So when you find something that works, that just seems to keep on working, that's not normal in a good way. It's not, it doesn't just normally work and it's just okay. I don't know about you, but like, how many people did you really date where it just really worked, where it was just really okay? For me, I saw potential with, here, there, like a little, but nothing like, wow. My husband was the first one that I came upon that I was like, wow, there's the potential. That's really the only human in the world that I've seen that works for me. If I have to go through this process again, which I never want to do again, I would have to like really work hard to find somebody that makes sense. How do you find somebody that you get me, I get you, we understand each other to a core level? And your stuff, I could handle your stuff.
What are the clues that people should be looking for to find that? It's, I want to kind of break it away from, to find that special thing that is the big yes. I feel like society's so focused on X and finding X. I want to switch that narrative and instead find the pillars or find the statues. And I don't know, I need to meme a great word into it, but finding the beautiful things that you look at in a person and be like, wow, that's something that I want to be with and on. Like, I feel like we're so focused on like, oh, this ick, that ick. Or how about the amazing thing about people? What are the monumental things about these people that are incredible? Like, what are the things that people should be hunting for so that they can get that certainty?
I like that. Oh, I like the way that you phrased the question. I think there's 2 sides of it. One is, who are they? What are these qualities, these characteristics, these things that you like, that you really value about them, that you respect, that you connect to. And you're like, ooh, that is a good human. Now, having a good human is good, but what we need is a good human for you. So now I found a good human, and now I want to know, how do I feel? We can get into our feelings. How do I feel when I'm with them? How do I empower them? How do they empower me? In what way am I a better person because I am with and around them, right? What's that greatness that they bring out of me? And at the same time, what's that thing that I bring out in them? When you start to see those things, now I know I don't just have a great human. Now I have a great human for me. A lot of people date great humans. There are a lot of great people in the world. They are just not great for you, but they're great. They're wonderful. They sparkle. On the Jewish matchmaking show, we had somebody that went out and she's like, he's amazing. He's like everything, almost everything, but just not that thing, like that one thing. And it's not enough. He's a great human. He just wasn't great for me, wasn't exactly what I needed. And that's the sweet spot. And I think you really hit the nail on the head that you said, kind of like, what are all of those things, those pillars? So I think it's a combination of many little things, meaning you could, like you could have one big diamond, right? And you're like, wow, I got a diamond, a 10-carat diamond. Or you could have, let's call it a ring with dozens upon dozens of small diamonds around it. I feel like in another person, it's all about the small diamonds. We are collecting all these little gems, all these little pieces of them. Oh, I appreciate this. They have gratitude and they compliment people and they lift people up. I really like that. Oh, they think of me. They knew that my favorite thing is sunflowers and they brought me sunflowers. I knew that my favorite meal was this. They took care of it. They made it for me. They thought of me. And that there's, again, it's like all of these little things that make up the big picture of, you're a human that I really value. If it is this is why I don't like that immediate spark and that ooh, ah.
Yeah.
That spark is a spark. It is based on one thing, that feeling in that moment. It's not based on all those little diamonds, right? It's like one big diamond, and where's the rest of it? There is no rest of it. That's just it. But when it's based on so many little things, how am I going to walk away? I can't walk away. There's so much goodness that I see here. I could make a list of 100 different things. If you asked me to tell you all the things that I really value about my husband, I could go through a list and tell you that he's kind and generous and warm and funny and playful and engaging and cute and smart. And like, I could just go through a whole list of all the things that I really like and I value about him. I'm going to give that up. I'm not going to give that up. That's for me, as opposed to, wow, I love the way you make me feel. Okay, today in this moment, but tomorrow you didn't make me feel that way. Okay, but I value this about you. Okay, but that's it. That's all. You value our, our politics are aligned. We grew up with a similar type family and same area. Okay, what else? Like, there's just too many holes. It's like Swiss cheese. It's just holy. It's not, you got to fill in the gaps with all of these things that I really, really like about somebody. And to me, it's like collecting gems and having a whole bag of them versus this, one big thing. And if you have a whole bunch of gems, right? If you have one gem and you lose it or it lets you down, right? It's gone. If I have a bag of 147 gems and I lose or one goes down a little bit, still got a bag of 146 gems. I'm doing okay. Yeah. I feel just fine. That's why I don't like that initial wow. And that's why we need to have these pillars and these gems that we see in somebody. And that's real.
The gems analogy I love. I do a presentation for a couple of people around making deposits into your treasure chest.
Yes.
And the idea that these gems can be created as beautiful memories and moments that you build together. And what I try and say to people is like, look, there's the dates that you organize, and that's amazing. But the real diamonds are forged under times of pressure. The real diamonds in your relationship are built not when things are going well, but when things are going bad, when your partner can rely on you in
Yeah.
times of stress and pressure, that's when an actual relationship diamond is formed. That's when you have the opportunity to create something
Yeah.
truly that can last you the rest of time. So
Right.
don't so be careful as well, because you've also
Right.
got the opportunity to create a diamond, or you've got the opportunity to create a hole in that ring where a diamond should be. And
Right.
people don't forget when they've been let down by their partners too. So it's sort of like you could do something really good, or you can do something really bad. And I always think about when my partner was there for me when my condo burnt down and I ended up
Mm.
being homeless, and she was immediately just like moving with me, helping me get things organized, was in there bagging up all the stuff that had
Wow.
been burnt and destroyed. We're both in there covered in soot
Yeah.
and dust, and she was just so steadfast and supportive. And I
Yeah.
thought, wow, what a quality human, and what a moment that I often reflect on. And it wasn't from a good thing, but it was one of the
Right.
most beautiful moments in my life, in a way.
Those moments, by the way, those challenging moments where we have some sort of a loss, whether it's, physical possessions, people in our lives, jobs, and there is this, like you called it, stress, pressure, trauma that we go through.
Mm,
It's similar to the Nightingale syndrome, where you have, a wounded soldier, and a nurse comes and takes care of him, and then, oh, they fall in love. And why do they fall in love? Because she's constantly there, and she's giving to him, and she's caring for him. And the more that we give, the more that we love. So you had a partner who was there, who was able to give to you, and she was able to develop love for you, and you were able to receive that. And
mm,
therefore, you also had this desire then to be giving also, and to build this and to feel supported by it. Like you said, that's the real strength behind the relationship. And you also know from that moment, it's not just the good times I want to go through with you, but we can handle all the other times, because life is made up of some good and lots of other times. And we need a partner that we can do both with. If we can't, what, you're good just for parties and fun, it's not
mm.
enough. You can't be a pretty face that stands next to me. You got to be the one crying by my side too.
What do you see from couples that come to you with these clarity questions? What are some of the cracks or the doubts, the common things that people have when they're in this shall I continue or shall I leave mindset?
A lot of the times, what they're saying is, I don't know. And you could fill in the blank. I don't know if they are enough. I don't know if I can be enough for them. I don't know if this relationship is enough. I don't know if I want it enough. I don't know if there's enough here that this is worthwhile to be my relationship. There's like, you've got gems, but you maybe don't have, 147 gems. You,
Hmm.
you, you maybe have like 67 or
Yeah.
98, or you're not feeling full, you're not feeling complete, and therefore there's this feeling of doubt or of lacking. Or maybe I had a different relationship and I had this relationship doesn't have that. It's got other things, but it doesn't have this thing that I thought that I needed, that I also really liked. And people are just constantly asking, but is this enough? And is this all there is? Like, is this the best that I can get? If I get a job
Mm,
and I don't like it, I can just get another job. But if I choose you as my spouse, getting a new one's kind of complicated, really difficult, and divorce is not fun. So because I'm making a decision that has such high stakes, I want to do it right the first time. And I'm feeling paralyzed, this analysis paralysis, where I'm out of words. I don't even know what to do. It's closer than I've ever gotten, maybe, or it's as close as I am now, or maybe I'm feeling a time pressure because of family or age or stage in life, or my friends all got married and I'm the last one to jump on the marriage train, and I'm feeling pressure. And so now I might be making a decision out of anxiety. I might be making a
mm.
decision not from a place of feeling grounded, and I don't know what to do with that. And it becomes really, really difficult.
How do you help people start to unwind this? Because I can feel that pressure in you saying it. I'm imagining it, and especially Women have that time pressure if they want to have kids. This time pressure is a real thing. Population decline is a real thing in so many countries. And a lot of it is because we're leaving it quite late to have kids. And
Yes.
the human body can only do so much, even with all the science that we have. And I'm seeing so many of my friends go through this, and that we had this amazing experience when we were growing up. Sorry, amazing experience when we were fully grown in our late 20s working for this. We all worked for this crazy company. It was doing awesome. No one wanted to take a break. No one wanted to have kids. We were having so much fun building this thing, doing this thing.
Yeah.
And then it sold. Everyone got paid. And then it was time to try and have a family. And then it was too late. And
Yeah.
it was time to find a long time partner. It was too late.
Yeah.
This pressure is real. Like, it's really brutally hard. And
It is.
I really feel, I really feel for people going through it. But I feel that pressure. I can feel it from you, and I feel it from my friends. So how do you help people start to unravel this?
So soulmate clarity, to me, I have this whole system, which is basically my brain that's on this, spreadsheet on steroids, I'll call it.
Yeah, it's a
And
program.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a whole program, it's a whole course, but it really walks you through the baseline of who I am, what I value, what I want and need, and how the person that I'm dating compares to that.
Hmm.
And my goal is that we are aligned enough, that there's enough glue there to stick a relationship together for a lifetime, and that the doubts and the things that we have can be seen visually, right? What we experience in a relationship, we will experience how we feel. That's internal. We will experience what we think. That's internal. Feelings and thoughts are two things that we cannot actually see. We can get no
Mm-hmm.
grasp or grip on those things. It's actually extremely difficult. And for me, soulmate clarity is pulling out your thinking, extracting your feelings, and visually making a representation of where am I? Where is this person I'm dating? Where do we connect? Where do we disconnect? And is there enough here to actually make a go of it? At baseline, if you haven't dated anybody better than this ever before, you should not keep looking. You should pause and look inward into this relationship and not say, like, well, what else? If this is as good as I got, maybe I could find something better. Maybe you would have already found it had you been looking
Yeah.
for it. Maybe somebody else will come along, right? That's a nice thought. The grass is always greener. You get married, you look
Yeah.
at somebody else's life, you look on social media, everybody
Oh,
looks happy. They're
this
all
is
taking a
true.
vacation, right? Right?
Yeah.
Oh, they're all on beaches with white sand and blue skies and water, and nobody's working, and everybody just looks, the one, family photo, they're all so happy and it's so
Yeah.
wonderful. And you don't know, they just had a blowout fight and there's no food and they're hangry and it's just like everything's a mess.
Yeah.
But smile, smile.
The photographer cropped all of the kids' happy faces from
That's
20
it.
different shots to make them all be looking at the camera.
Right. But we look everywhere else and we see happy everywhere else. And then we
Mm.
look internally and we look at our lives and we're like, could be better. Well, it could be better if you feel like making it better. But if you're not going to make it better, then maybe this is good and maybe you're missing it. Like, through what lens are we looking? We can look at problems or we can look at beauty, and how much beauty is in your relationship that you're just not acknowledging because you're afraid to acknowledge it, because if you do, you're going to actually have to do something about it. So
Mm.
we're constantly weighing and balancing these things. I like that at least at minimum baseline, we have at least 70% of things about who we are and what we want, the direction we're going, that there's an alignment with our partner. And we can have confidence that, yeah, things will still be good down the road because we started out well over 50%. We're at 70% and creeping upwards, and that there are no potential deal breakers. So my one rule is, if you're moving ahead, if there's a potential deal breaker, he's a smoker, you hate smoking. Okay, great. Well, he's not going to quit. Oh no, he said he would. Great. Well, in your mind, I'm telling you, he's not going to quit. If he does, yay, bonus. I've heard it once or twice here or there. They're like, oh, he did. It's amazing. I'm like, great, you're the 2%. Good for you. Yay. But he's not going to quit. Leave him alone. Either accept it or move on. This is what it is. If it changes, good. But you're not going into a relationship expecting something will change, because if it's a potential deal breaker, if it doesn't change, it breaks the deal. Well, that's a problem. You must accept the human being in front of you as they are today. They're going to change. They'll probably get worse over time. The things that aren't so good and the things you love will probably get better over time. And you're going to feel this polarized feeling, and you're going to be able to handle it more because you've learned how to navigate your life better, please God. And with Coupley, you can learn all the tools that you need for your relationship so that as things get more challenging, they're going to get more beautiful, but they're also going to get more challenging. You should also have more skills to be able to handle going through your relationship day in and day out. And you know that you have a great partner, a good partner for you. This is a good match for you. It makes sense for you. And there's probably nobody else that really made that much sense for you. And if they did, they didn't pick you back, otherwise you'd be with them. So
what are the deal breakers? I'd love to hear more of the deal breakers that you see that people often can't push up against. And do they even know that they're deal breakers, or do they have to work with you to actually discover that, oh gosh, maybe this is the reason why I'm feeling uncertain, because lo and behold, this is a deal breaker, but I thought it was something I was kind of flexible on?
Actually, most of the time people do know the deal breakers, but they pretend like it's going to be okay. And sometimes they're like, oh, this is a deal breaker. And we go through it and I'm like, no, it's not. And they're like, no, it is. And I'm like, well, you don't rank it high enough to be a deal breaker. So actually it's not, it's just called irritating and you don't like it, but that's not actually a deal breaker. And they're like, So some of the deal breakers are things like personality mismatches, long-term goals misaligned, couples that don't talk about if they want to have a family and they want to have children and they don't talk about it soon enough. All of a sudden one day they're in a relationship and a year and a half later, one side or the other is like, oh my gosh, you don't want children? What? And they're shocked because they didn't have that conversation. All of the long-term goals, where you want to be, what you want to do. My husband and I talked about that. I wanted to move. I didn't want to live where we were. I was going to move out of the country. And I was like, are you on board? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, good. When? Put a timeline on it. So I was very specific and detailed in our relationship and in terms of making something work. What else are deal breakers and things that don't work? Looks. I thought I was going to be okay with you, and you are just neutral plus, and it's not enough for me. I thought you were going to grow on me more, and I'm not satisfied with your look or it could be anything. It could be your look. It could be your height. It could be your personality. It could be your life goals.
I thought you were going to say hygiene. I thought it was going to be hygiene.
No,
I was like,
no, body odor is a big thing, but there's some all eau de naturel people, and you got to date other eau de naturel people because everybody else likes deodorant.
messiness, cleanliness, huge.
Oh, that's a whole thing. Yeah, hoarders, that's another thing. Like, oh, but I never went to their house. I didn't know they were a hoarder. They're just such a wonderful person and a great thing, but like, I can't live with that.
What did you mean when you said about the worst things will get worse and the good things will get better? And can you tie that into any kind of reality? Because that's a very terrifying statement to me.
Well, okay. Yes. So the things that you like about a person, they continue to do repetitively over and over again, habitually. And what you liked, you get to see over and over again. And you're like, oh, in a moment, you fall in love with them again because they're so generous, warm, loving, kind, such a good human. They just take care of you or other people or the world around them. You just keep looking at them. You're like, wow, I love that. I admire that. I value that. That is so great. And you feel more connected, more attached, and more grateful that this is your person. The things that we don't like that I call the other, just the same way that the good grows, the other stuff grows also. And over time, you see it over and over and over again. And you're like, no, but I don't like that. Or that bothers me. And they're like, you know that I do that. And I might be working on myself. I might be trying, but maybe I'll change, maybe I won't change. And it's not that I don't love you. Like, that's my habit. In the same way I've got my good habit, we all have our other habits. I'm not using the word bad on purpose. It's just not what you prefer, because it's not necessarily a bad habit or a
Yeah.
bad thing. It's just not what I prefer. And that gets more intense over time because it keeps happening and happening and happening and happening. So while that gets more intense, the good news is your ability to handle it should grow over time, because you see it, you deal with it, you navigate it. Oh, it happens again. You see it, you deal with it, you navigate it. Oh, it happens again. It's a pattern. So it's like a puzzle, but you're doing the same one over and over and over again. Like, my kids have done Rubik's Cube 987 times. You give them a Rubik's Cube, you mix it up, you give it to them, and in a minute, they will just figure it out. And like, they know what to do because they know the solution, because there's patterns to how you fix it. And that happens with our relationship also. We have our negative patterns, habits, things. It's like, oh, we're doing that thing again. Oh, okay, wait, what did we do last time to solve it? Oh, I know. Let's do that again. So we get better at handling it, but it keeps happening, which also is really annoying. You know, I'm married 21 years. I have my habits. My husband has his habits. You know, after you keep doing them, it's like, maybe we should, stop already. It's like, well, I'm trying, but it's also my thing. I know. Sorry.
You often don't get the good without the other, right? And sometimes the
There is
other can.
no, there is no good. I gotta clarify. There is no
Oh,
good
that's
without other.
okay.
Everybody gets good other. Day, night, light, dark, up, down, left, right. There's a balance in the world. You will get good in other, but that's why I need 70% or more. Could be 75, 80, 85 to be good, and the other to be much less. It's just the balance of good and other. Not 50-50. Not into 50-50 good other. That doesn't work. That equals divorce.
That equals divorce. 50-50 equals
It's not
divorce.
enough. What,
Yeah, of
I'm
course
going to
not.
buy in to live like that my whole life? That's not going to feel good. Nobody can tolerate that. It's too hard.
When are the times that you really recommend to couples to call it quits, or to tell this person, no, they're not for you, don't do it, get the divorce, break up, or don't pursue the relationship?
That's really hard. So I would say a lot of people talk about red flags. I like to talk about black flags. Abuse. Get out. You have to get out. It's not healthy. And there's no world where abuse is something that's acceptable. Addiction, you need to either separate or get out. Somebody needs to take care of themselves before they can be in a relationship, because right now they're in a relationship with substances and not with you. I have seen couples that have gone through other stressors that they have overcome, like a spouse who may have, or a relationship where somebody was cheating. In general, those things are patterns and habitual things. However, there are other cases where it's not necessarily, and you hear I'm like slowing down my speaking and talking and thinking. It's complicated. It's really, really complicated. But for sure, something like abuse is a black flag. Like, if I have to give you one thing that's a black flag, that is just a black flag that I would not tell anybody to tolerate in any form of a relationship.
Disrespect as well. That's one that I feel like
But is that a
you,
black flag, or is that something like, is it just a moment, or is it every time? Like, if they're putting you down every single time and that's their behavior towards you, yes, that is definitely a problem and not something somebody should stick in. If like, I feel disrespected, and it's, a person feeling disrespected and a person being disrespectful, where's the line? That gets a little messy.
yeah,
That's like
it's very true.
it's like the little yellow flaggy to me, and
Yeah, it's very true.
But relationships, I think a lot of relationships struggle and suffer through respect, love, feeling valued. I think a lot of people in a lot of relationships struggle through that.
What are some of the top tips you have for couples to keep their bond strong, keep their relationship amazing?
Play. A lot of play, laughter, humor, banter, a little back and forth. I have a playful personality. So I'm high in this, but I know a lot of couples that are very low. They're more intellectual. They're more serious. So their play is these discussions and these healthy debates and things of that nature, which are engaging their brain. And that's how they play. So whatever you call play, I think couples need that. And the things that are hard to take it a little easier. Whoever can handle it a little bit more, support the other partner. My husband and I have this thing where when we would go to each other, we would go to the parents' house, right? So if we went to his parents' house, it's like, okay, like everybody kind of like melts down and they turn into that, 10-year-old child when they're home. I'm like, okay, it's okay. I'll be the adult. I'll handle this. And we go to my parents' house. It's like, okay, no. I get to be a mess. It's my day to be a mess. You carry me. So I think those things are really important where you have your own language, your own knowing of what you can handle and how to do it. And, I just had something else I wanted to tell you. Language is really important. Couples have verbal and nonverbal communication where there's that moment. So sometimes something will happen and my husband and I will be in the room and there'll be something that is like a positive trigger for both of us. And I'll look at him and he'll look at me and we'll have this thing. The kids are like, what? And we just had a whole conversation and we didn't even say anything or because I'm in the matchmaking industry, so we go to a lot of weddings and we just kind of like glance across the room, like the bride and the groom, and he looks at me and I look at him. I'm like, right, we did it. Like we did this. Like we have our little moment. And those are nonverbal things where we catch each other's eye and have that moment. And then we have a lot of verbal things too. I think that couples, in the same way that twins have their own language. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but like twins have their own like communication. Couples have that too. We have our catchphrases. We have our things that we say and that's like nobody else knows. It's like our thing. And sometimes, we let people in on it sometimes because we share a lot of relationship advice, but a lot of couples, it just happens. It's like, oh, what just happened? They're like, oh no, don't worry about that. That's my thing.
Yeah. And it's cute and fun to build on a joke. And it's very funny when a couple accidentally lets you in on a joke or they share something that's their in joke and you don't get it and you're like, what?
You're like, that's not funny. And they're like, we've been laughing about this for 20 years.
Exactly.
So those communication things, I think that's what makes the couple one, right? We come into the world me and we walk out, hopefully like it's two of us that we come together. It's two that's really one. And by having those inside jokes, by having those things that are just between us, by having the play, by having the banter, and by not giving that to the rest of the world. I'm not just flirting with everybody in the world. It's just you. I'm not just schmoozing and hanging out with everybody in the world. No, you're my one. Like I want to hang out with you more than I want to hang out with other people. That's who I want to be with. That's how we walk together in the world as one. And I think that a couple becoming one is our ultimate goal. And when we do it right, it feels so good. And when we do it wrong, we feel even lonelier in marriage than we do being single. And that's really, really hard.
How do you balance this oneness in your relationship when something happens to one of them? And I'm thinking of you here, frankly, have your own Netflix show. Like, how do you balance it? Now, I'm sure you have a wealth of opportunities. Life suddenly changed. Maybe it didn't. Correct me if I'm wrong. But then how do you balance that with keeping your relationship normal? Or what did you do?
Okay, so it's almost a year ago that this show came out. And, I went from like a small community of people knowing about me to millions of people knowing about me. Over the summer, we lived near the beach and I started to travel. So that's one thing that started to happen. I've been on 8 tours because I'm on this world tour, and I've been on 8 2-week tours since May of last year, which means I'm home for about 4 weeks and I'm on the road for 2 weeks and I'm home for 4 weeks and I'm on the road for 2 weeks-ish. Sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 5, but that's my daily schedule. And we had to jump into this whole new world. So sometimes my husband's somewhere and they're like, oh my gosh, you're Gershon from your wife's son. Is she here? I want to talk to her. And he's like, no, can we just finish dinner? Nice to meet you. Bye. It's like a little bit of a moment. And it's hard. It is a challenging balance to let the world in because you have to, and to shut the world out and to say, we have a life. So we work hard to have date nights every week, or every week that I'm home. We try to have date nights. Actually, we really prefer double date nights because we don't just want to talk about kids or house or money or nothing. We are just talking about us and stuff and life and fun and like dating again. And we love double dating. So we meet other couples and we're like, oh, was that good for you? Like, oh, did we all bond together? It's like, no, we like this one, but it didn't work with that one. That one didn't have a fine. Okay. So you go out with him and whatever, we won't all go out together. Like we have a couple powwow. But we have a really nice time meeting new couples in our area and getting to know people and going on these like friend dates. And we make sure to also have close bonding family time. And then we balance, I work a lot. I work at nights. So he puts the kids to bed and I can work until 2:00 in the morning. And then he wakes up with the kids in the morning and sends them off to school. And then I can wake up at 10, 11 or noon if I was up until 4 a.m. and balance this kind of a lifestyle. And sometimes we have a date day and we go out for a lunch date instead of a date night if I, can't book something. And I'll just tell you something we did the other day, which was so nice. And we're like, oh, we're going to do that again. So we went to this wedding together and I figured we'll go to the wedding and we'll come back home. And he's like, no, we're going to sleep over. And I was like, for real? Like with 2 days notice? He's like, yeah, book a hotel. We're staying over. We're going to go to this concert after the wedding. I'm like, wait, I'm sorry. We're going to a concert after the wedding and who's watching the kids? No, it's all set up. Don't worry. I got it. It's done. And we went to this wedding and then we went to this concert and then we slept over for one night. And then the next morning we got on the train and we came home and I was like, that was amazing. Why don't we do this every month? Forget about a date night and going out to dinner. Let's just go take a one night hotel stay somewhere and go do something without the children, just us. We have 5 kids, ages 10 to 20. And like, let's just do something, just the 2 of us. This was phenomenal. So now we're not even into date days. We're into sleepovers. We want to go have a hotel night once a month and just bond and have dinner together and breakfast together and nobody else to worry about in a new city where we're not in our own environment, where we have to just enjoy the moment. And that's a new thing that we're doing. And probably as a result of the show and of not having as much alone and quiet and private time.
Beautiful, incredible way to rebalance it.
Yeah.
Love a romantic retreat or a weekend away. I think it's amazing just simply because it gets you out the house, away from the chores, away from all of the things that you think about and breaks you out of that routine, especially if you join that with doing something new, because then you're seeing your partner in a new light. And that's very good for your relationship as well. Lovely. Aleeza, what is next for you? You've got such a wonderful personality, such a warm, I feel like I've just been embraced by your personality, and I'm sure everyone feels like this as well. How can people get in touch with you, stay in touch, find out what new projects you're working on? Please tell us what's in store.
Okay, amazing. So what's in store is I do have a book coming out later this year all about matchmaking, and it's not released yet. So you're going to hear in a couple months about that, which I'm really, really excited about. I am continuing to do this world tour. So I've already been to Australia, not South Africa yet. That's on the to-do list. Chile, Argentina, London, all over the States, all over Canada, East and West, and continuing to meet different people in different communities around the world. I have a ton of programs. So Soulmate Clarity is one of them. We have dating detox. We have I can't even tell you. I have free a 5-date challenge, all these things that singles and couples can do. And the best way to find out about all this and more, we do coaching, we do matchmaking. I mean, if you need something, dating, relationship, wise, somebody to help you, this is your one-stop shop. This is what we do. We eat, breathe, and sleep this. And the best way to reach us, you can go to my name, Aleeza Ben Shalom, Aleeza, benshalom.com, and find me there.
Aleeza, thank you so much for being with us today, sharing all your energy and passion with the coupley community. It's so, so very appreciated.
Thank you for having me.